Hello, everybody. Maybe I should bring my microphone a little closer to me. Hello, everybody. Welcome to Torn Tuesday, your weekly dose of all things Lord of the Rings, movies, music, games, collectible card games, TV shows, operas, and so much more.
Operas. Do you believe it?
And I am joined, as always. My name's Justin Sewell. I've been a friend of the site, theonering.net, for over 20 years. The site is over 20 years old. And Cliff
Yes.
Broadway is one of the original editors of the site and publisher of 3 books, People's Guide to J.R.R. Tolkien, and several magazines, as well as the writer and producer of Ringers, Lord of the Fans, an award-winning documentary about the history of Lord of the Ring fandom. And the chat room is live and excited and telling me to read the books.
And again, I'm so glad to see you all here. Welcome to Torn Tuesday, all of you beautiful, beautiful people. And I'm not going to say it again because I say it all the bloody time. But yeah, Justin, you're going to really enjoy yourself when you actually dig in and read the books cover to cover. You're going to have such a great journey. We're all looking forward to sharing that with you. We are very much looking forward to that. And welcome
I
to the show, everybody.
Well, I think I'm actually going to enjoy the TV show and upcoming movies better than you guys for
Meow,
not having
meow,
read the
meow,
books.
meow, meow.
But we wanted
Of
to start off the show with our collectibles editor, Elisar, aka
LSR is
Josh
joining
Long.
us. How exciting. Welcome. Welcome. How are you, man?
I'm
Good to
good.
see
How
you.
are you guys?
Pleasure. Pleasure to have you here. How's
Yeah.
things in your world?
It's July in Missouri, so we're warming up.
I believe it. I believe it.
Yeah, you've got
Now,
a heat wave kind of going on over
That
there.
heat wave from Texas is making its way here. I think starting tomorrow, it's supposed to be like 99 degrees like every day. It's going to be wonderful.
Wow. Well, are you looking forward to coming to San Diego Comic Con then?
Oh,
And
absolutely. I mean, number one reason to go to San Diego Comic Con, heck, might just be the 72-degree weather every day where I'm safe because it's not sweaty, too sweaty for fat people like myself.
that's it. And what is there anything that you're looking forward to at Comic Con that you've heard about so far?
Weta put out obviously that they're not going to have their own booth. They sent out, the newsletter the other night said they're not going to have their own booth, but
Oh wait, hold on. This is I didn't know they had released this info yet.
yeah, the let me look them. I'll tell you exactly what day
Well,
they said.
we can tell you what we reported a month ago, which is Sideshow Collectibles, always a huge
Right.
booth and a mainstay of Comic Con, has decided to sit this year out for the first time in like 20 years. Cliff, do you remember going to the Sideshow booth to see the Two Towers first look at a Gollum action figure?
yes, I do. I do very much
That's
remember
how
that.
long
Boy, oh boy.
Sideshow has been exhibiting at Comic Con, where that was the
You're
first glimpse.
you're not making me feel old at all, Justin. But
There,
yes, Sir Richard Taylor and Daniel Falconer and an incredible team, Greg Broadmoor, all the folks, all those great artists, they've been coming to San Diego Comic-Con to the point where fans, hardcore ringers, love the experience. I mean, they don't get to go and meet Peter Jackson. He's never there. They get to go and meet Richard Taylor.
Well,
He
he's
is
there and
every
hiding.
summer. Every summer.
Peter Jackson
So
has been seen in costume. But Josh, you were saying Weta had an announcement?
so Weta on Sunday sent out their newsletter. They're going to do their collectibles expo like they've done the last couple of years in New Zealand. So they're not going to have a physical booth. It says they are going to have
uh,
some of their stuff. It says at certain locations. So they are going to have some statues and stuff there on top of doing all their virtual stuff. And it also says that they're going to have a panel that people can go to and check out. I'm assuming it's going to cover, with all the 20th anniversary stuff they've been doing the last few years. I'm assuming it's going to be, Lord of the Rings themed, 20th anniversary, probably showcase some new stuff. It says Richard's going to be leading the panel. Who knows who, Daniel Falconer, someone like that may be on the panel because he's been Weta for a long time. You could see, I mean, who knows? I mean, I don't want to speculate. I mean, actors, depending on what's going on with all the, the, SAG-AFTRA stuff and the writer stuff and everything. So who knows how that's going to affect it? But yeah, there's going to be a Weta panel.
But
So
no big booth with a giant smoking dragon or
no
giant
big booth.
trolls.
Yeah, I mean that. I'm glad that they're at least going to have a presence there with the panel as a fan of them and what they've done, and that they are going to have some products somewhere to look at. It doesn't say where. I mean, it's very like where's Waldo? Like it's they're going to have stuff there. It's basically what it says. So
well, okay, all right.
At least that panel is happening. Yeah.
Torn Tuesday exclusive, folks. The One Ring booth at aisle 1200 will be one of the exclusive places to buy Weta Workshop's new figures. We've got some special surprises in store. We're going to make announcements in the coming weeks. But now that Weta has announced something, I can give you guys a hint. We're working with them, and they're going to be at our booth. So Weta has downsized into Torn's booth.
that is like a massive shift on sides of the floor for anybody that's been there. I mean, our booth was great last year. I mean, but it's, yeah, when you put it like that, it is kind of funny to think about going from that end where like there's just people to like you can actually stand in the aisleway for a second and have a conversation with somebody and not get ran over every 30 seconds. So
right now I am the captain.
Well,
we've got so much to talk about today. We're going to talk about the Emmy campaign that Amazon has put together. Ballots were due last night at 10 p.m. So the ballots are in. It's done. Hopefully, Amazon, they got to calculate the results and see what the nominations will be July 12th. But before that, the thing that's kind of breaking the internet right now is this huge hunt for the One Ring. Not hunt for Gollum. That's a different thing. The hunt for the One Ring. Cliff, can you explain what's going on?
Okay, there's a phenomenal experience to be had for all you tabletop gamers out there who want to reach back in time to when Magic the Gathering first came out in the early 90s. We were all just babies back then, but Magic the Gathering stood the test of time. Decades later, now they've created this remarkable partnership with Tolkien Enterprises, and perhaps this was one of the deals that happened before the Embracer Group purchased the intellectual property.
Right. Last week we went over the whole history and all the different boxes. But what's got the internet on fire right now, Cliff?
I'm telling you right now, this is an amazing thing. This Lord of the Rings version of Magic the Gathering has people opening up packets everywhere around the world looking for this one-of-a-kind, single-issued card of the One Ring of Power. It is serialized as 1 out of 1, double-pressed gold foil, written in Elvish letters. Absolutely one of a kind in the whole world, and there's a bounty on it. I mean, if you're looking for putting a price on someone's head, somebody needs to find this card, freeze it in carbonite, and then take it back to the Emperor, because this is worth $2 million right now with online bids going crazy. And all of us are, I mean, look at me. I'm sitting here. This is not the exact packet, but I've been opening up packets of Magic cards. And even Nerd of the Rings joined with the OneRing.net a few days ago, opening up these booster packs. Everyone's crazy looking for these rare occurrences of Sol rings. They've reproduced these artifact rings for men, dwarves, and elves. They're going for thousands and thousands of dollars for these individual cards, much less the 1 out of 1 ring, which is one of the most amazing marketing strokes of genius. It's just a marketing moment of brilliance in getting people interested in the game like that.
Well, you know how Twitter has, the For You section and how it kind of gets filtered in based on things you're looking at. One of the accounts that got filtered in, because I've been looking at some of the, the Magic the Gathering stuff, dealing with Lord of the Rings. Some streamer, and I don't remember the guy's name, spent, I think it was like $9,000 on Magic the Gathering, Lord of the Rings stuff, trying to find that card, and he did not find it.
Ooh.
I'm like, I just,
Ooh.
yeah. I mean, it's, I, I think it's kind of, it's to me, it's like when coming from, and Justin and I talked about this a little bit earlier. Um, I used to collect baseball cards, basketball cards, stuff like that when I was younger, and I had a lot of Michael Jordan cards. Um, and for me, when the new stuff would come out, it was for me. It was always I'm trying to hunt and find the Michael Jordan cards that I wanted. So I get like just wanting to find these cards, but like I told Justin, I know nothing other than what I'm learning from watching you and Nerd of the Rings and stuff talk about this. I'm going, sure that I think foil cards look neat. I have a bunch of those, the TCG cards. Um, I have a bunch of those I bought on eBay because they were Lord of the Rings stuff. So I
Oh
bought them. But
yeah, you mean the Decipher card game?
yeah, the Decipher cards, yeah.
Yes.
Same thing. I just bought them. I don't have a clue what any of them really would do necessarily, other than they have images from the films. I like the art that is on these, whether or not you
I'll
know.
teach you how to play. We'll do a Zoom meeting and I'll teach you how to
Okay.
play in 10 minutes. I will teach you how to play.
I
Be
told
glad
Matt
to.
in his
I'd be
chat.
glad to.
I asked him the other day. I said, "Do you think you think Cliff's going to try to get us to play at Comic Con?" He goes, "Heck, I'm going to try to get us to play at Comic Con." I'm
That's
like,
right.
Of course
Some-
I am. Oh my
someone
gosh.
someone
These
better
are
be
the-
willing to sit down and teach me. Just understand, I could be a slow learner. So, but yeah,
Have you ever played Pokemon, the card game?
no,
Okay.
Pokemon. See, that was all the like Pokemon and stuff. Like when you're talking about Magic came out in the 90s. Like,
Mhm.
so I was like 9, 10, 11, 12 years old when it came out then. So I was, in sports cards. And then when Pokemon came out, I was, teenager, trying to be a
Yeah,
teenager.
I had aged out as well. So
I
like
so
Right.
the
so it's
Right.
coming around. I'm like, the art is beautiful. Like for me, the main reason I want to get some like that booster box that Justin has, I'm trying to figure out a way to find one somewhat reasonably priced because
well,
I
this
just
was $400 at my
okay,
local game shop.
I'm going to say that's not terrible because I don't think it is because I mean I buy statues that are more than that, so I don't
I
think it's
thought
awful.
I thought
But
that was going for $500.
Well, I got it at a local game shop,
Nice.
but the prices are going up, and we've just got word today that these green boxes, which are collector boxes, it says right there,
Mhm.
collector boosters.
They're
These
different from
are the
this. This is the
only,
set booster.
yeah, the collector boosters are the ones with the valuable cards, and these are a
right.
single print run only. Magic has said that they're not printing any more of them because there is that $2 million one of one card.
So
So,
Right.
the box
Right.
that you have is a single print run. So in other words, what you're telling me is I should probably, if I find one at a price I can swallow, so to speak, I should probably just go ahead and. Oh,
that's what I'm thinking.
Well, this was
I'm,
200. This was 200 for the
but
regular
that's
set
not the
boosters.
cards anybody wants. These are the cards
Wait,
that
no,
anybody wants.
those there are some rares and
Mhm.
mythic rares, but the one that
But
Justin
the
has
serialized
a
cards
whole
are only in the
different
green
scale. Yeah,
box.
it's
Yeah,
true. It's true that there's many, many more duplicates of
the
mythic rares and
valuable cards
more.
are in here.
The most valuable and rarest of them are only in those. That's true.
Okay,
So
that's
what
what.
True.
some people are doing, because there will not be another print run of these collector cards, is some
Yeah.
people are buying an extra box if they can stomach it and holding it sealed, because the theory is if the One Ring card is not found in the next 2 or 3 weeks, these are going to start going up in value like
Yeah, because you start
crazy.
narrowing down who's got
Mm.
it. Stuff. Yeah, that makes
So
sense.
if the card isn't found and announced publicly that it's been found, these boxes will start to be worth $1,000 each, $2,000 each. At the
Yeah.
height of the Pokemon
Yeah.
craze during the pandemic, they were
Yeah.
selling for 10,000 a box. A box like this was selling for $10,000
Yep.
when the Pokemon craze was happening a
What was
couple
the
years
name
ago.
of the local store you went to? Is it over there in your area, up in the desert plateau
I
where you're at?
called. These are so sold out that I called 42 different stores in the Los Angeles area, and
Wow.
I had to drive an hour to Redlands, California, to find one. So they really are sold out. And if you go to eBay, the people are like already selling it for 450, 500 or more.
See, that's the prices that I'm seeing. Yeah, $400 to $500 for
So
one.
in 1 week, we went from $375. 1 week later, they're going for $500. Next week, they will probably go for $800, and beyond that, the price will just keep going up.
That's why I told you when you the other day, you were talking about the back sheet cards. I'm like, I went ahead and ordered that booster set of the Hildebrand. I'm like,
I did too.
I'm like, again, it's one of those. I think it'd be neat. It's not. I mean, as you can see, the art print I have behind me, very good friend of ours, Jerry Vanderstelt. I would love to see him get on doing some of these because his art is beautiful. But
Yeah.
I like different kinds of art that represent Lord of the Rings. It is it's different takes on it, different styles, all that kind of stuff. So I'm cool with it. And plus, if they, hey, worst comes to worst, if they turn out to be worth a lot of money and I'm in a pinch, it's always nice to have something that you don't make some money off of. I mean, I've had to do that with my statue collection where, hey, I needed a little bit of money to do something or whatever. A couple pieces have to go out the door, which is okay because they take, because I don't have any space left, but that's beside the point.
I don't think they have the collector's boosters boxes on Amazon anymore. I think they're gone.
Or they're back ordered. Yeah, it is getting impossible. In 1 week's time, it has become near impossible to find these collector boosters. But Josh, you wanted to come on the show because you ordered a different box. You ordered the Commander decks. Now, these are collector decks. Don't get confused. Commander decks are 100-card pre-made decks with a different commander in each box, and it's a style of game called playing Commander. But the reason you wanted to come on today is because in this Commander box is a sample of these cards. So you've got the 4 different Commander decks of the different characters.
When they went up for sale in February, I think, something like that, a friend of mine that was at I used to work with the school district I'm in, he was like, hey, he started telling me about them. I'm like, oh, really? So I started checking Amazon during a staff meeting and saw that they were on there. I'm like, so him and I are whispering during the staff meeting. I'm like, is this what I should order? And he's like, yeah, I get that. I'm like, I just want to collect a few maybe. And he's like, yeah, get these. So I ordered, it was a special I would like all 4 in one set. So they all came today in one box from Wizard in one deal. So yeah.
Well, the thing that is blowing up on TikTok and YouTube Shorts and YouTube and Twitch right now are people opening these packs. We don't necessarily want to do that today, but you have some sample packs in your Commander boxes. So did you want to open one or all of your Commander boxes and check out the sample pack? Now the sample packs are just, I think it's 1 or 2 cards. It's literally a teaser to buy this $400 box and up. So the whole point is they put a teaser for the most expensive cards in the second most expensive box. See how they're doing that? So while Josh is bringing that up, let me bring this full screen. This is eBay today. I have filtered by things that actually sold. So this isn't just prices that is pie in the sky. These are verified, completed, sold auctions. These serialized human ring cards are selling, you can see, $1,900, $2,000, $2,025. When you get to the serialized dwarven ring cards, you start getting up to $2,500, $2,500, $2,750, $2,800, $3,000 for serialized dwarven soul ring. And then if you go up to elven rings, you won't believe this, folks. These are actually sold June 16th, $12,000, best offer accepted. This one sold on June 26th, which was yesterday, for $8,650. These are not the one-of-one card that's worth $2 million. These are serialized cards, which means they are numbered, individually numbered. And what they did, Cliff, is, remember there's 3 rings of elves, 7 rings of dwarves and 9
Yes.
rings of men. They have
Yes.
made 300 elven ring cards, 700 dwarven ring cards, and
You mean the
900
foil version, the foil version.
the
Yes, of those
foil
cards.
serialized
Yes.
version.
Mhm.
So there's 900 plus 700 plus 300. So there's about 1900 serialized cards of the One Ring that are currently actually selling for thousands and thousands and tens of thousands of dollars. So if you found
My
one
goodness.
elven serialized ring in this pack, Josh, you might be in the money for up to $12,000.
So this, I know you guys were talking about last time too, like the little tokens and stuff that come on these, and it's got some punch out stuff here, and it's got this printout of Frodo on there. On there, you get a really nice. Actually, this is pretty cool because it's got a nice little piece of art on the back, so that's kind of cool.
That's neat.
And it talks about the rules of Commander and stuff.
All right. Well,
Which is
so
helpful
is there a small booster?
There is right here.
Look at that.
Oh, there's your
it is
sample
green,
booster.
like my box. It is a green
Uh-huh.
collector sampler.
And then
Oh, I've got one too. I've got one in my Commander box, and I
then
I didn't open it yet.
pre-made 100
that's
card
and then
deck.
yeah, that's the pre-made. It's got Frodo on the
And
front.
every commander deck is the same. No matter if you buy it from Target, Amazon, Walmart, or your local game shop, the commander deck is the same.
That is true. They
Wanna
are
look-
called
do we wanna look
pre-constructed.
at these at
They're
all?
always referred to as pre-constructed decks because you guys have to understand, if you're just opening up thousands of random cards, you're going to customize and build your own deck of cards that you think is best. But when you buy that package, the hard work is already done for you. They've constructed it to play beautifully.
But you know what is random?
And I've got this thing, whatever that does. It's got numbers on it.
The only thing that's random in the commander deck is this sample of
Yes, that's right.
the collector card. So Josh, do you want to open live on the
Yeah,
air?
let's open it. Maybe I'll open up mine too.
The chat room is asking, do you think those are just fake sales? No, those are real sales. People are actually, and I think a lot of the sales might be independent game shops and comic shops trading amongst each other. You know, because if someone finds the ring in Indiana or Missouri, they most likely won't be able to sell it to a customer versus someone in New York or LA with 10 million potential customers in the local area.
Okay,
Wow.
so out of I opened the Hobbit one, the Fellowship. So I've got this, Sam.
Oh, that is a borderless alternate art card. Borderless without a black or white border.
Okay.
So you see the artwork bleeds all the way out to the border of the
Right,
physical
there's a way
card.
yeah.
And it's foil. You got a nice Samwise card there.
Can
Yeah,
you
that
hold
was
that
pretty
up again? Let's look up the value of it. It's Sam. Oops, green screen is grabbing it.
Your green screen is grabbing it. Sorry.
Loyal attendant.
Mhm.
Loyal attendant.
And then what's the number at the bottom left corner?
Bottom left corner.
The tiny number.
Is it the M0090? Is that what you're talking about?
I think so. 0090.
By Campbell White. The art.
Yes.
And it says
So the standard card is $1.99.
uh-huh.
And the extended art is $1.99.
Okay.
So there you go.
I'm used to pulling like baseball cards that are worth like 10 cents. So hey, $1.99 is a lot better.
There you go.
And the other one was fucking
Oh, wow. Mariodoc Brandy Buck.
with that special
That
ring.
special border. Yeah. That's
0314 is the number on that one, Justin.
0314.
That's called the that border card has a unique name.
Yeah, that's a showcase card. It's
That's
got
right.
that ring inscription around it, and that's 49 cents.
That's all right. It's a pretty card. I think it's neat, so I'm cool with that. And I got a
It's called the Showcase Ring. That's what it's called, the Showcase Ring.
and then you get a cool little box too. So
Oh,
That's
to
actually-
hold the cards.
yeah, that's
Mhm.
actually because
Oh, that's cool.
Do you want to look at any of these from the commander deck or no?
Not really. Those
Okay.
are those are pre-made decks.
Okay.
It's all about what's in, because
will-
according to Nerd of the Rings, in those 2 sample boosters are some unique cards that you can only get there, and that's what's driving the value.
I will. We can look at
Okay.
the
I think
spec-
I'll open up mine too. Mine was the Eowyn. I've got the Eowyn commander deck. Which one did you first open?
I opened the Fellowship one. It's got Frodo and Sam on the front of the cover. Yeah,
Nice.
and
I've
Nice.
got a Riders of Rohan. Is that the Eowyn? Yes.
Yep, I'm opening up mine right now.
All right, then I'm opening mine.
Riders of Rohan. Oh,
All right,
look
let's
at
see.
this.
Let's see. Chat room. If any
Gorgeous.
of you are collectors and you know where to look up the values, I could use the help. Because we're gonna open these.
Now
What's the best
that
way
is
to
a
open it?
chunk. That is a chonky stack of cards.
That's
That
what I'm
is a-
saying. Yeah.
Well, traditionally, you understand. Maybe you don't yet, but we'll teach you. A regular game of Magic isn't this many. It's only 60. 60
Right.
cards as you use as standard. This commander is a commander format, a unique format of playing the game, and it is always built out of 100 cards. And
Let me
a
see.
separate unique commander, which is this lovely one they put in the front window of the box with Eowyn. Yeah, Eowyn Shield Maiden.
What does the little spinner thing here do, Cliff? What are we this thing with the little spinner on the side? Is that just a flat?
Oh yeah, the little spinner. Gosh, yours has a spinner.
Yeah, it's inside with the little.
Oh, here it is. Yes. Oh yeah, this is a life counter.
Okay.
Right. Yeah, this is to keep track of life points. I think. Yeah, this is a life counter, and wow, look, there's a whole little fold out.
The chat room is saying wear gloves when handling the merchandise. I was curious about that as well.
Yeah.
All right.
You start you know in a regular Magic game, you start the game
who's got their
20.
booster?
Can you hear me? Am I on mute?
I got a booster. I opened the one with Galadriel on it. I think is what I ended up opening the second one.
Who's got their next booster?
Let me open up mine. Mine's here. Is it? Oh, I don't know. I guess my box didn't even include one.
It does. They include it's underneath.
It's hidden in the box.
Decks. Yeah, it's underneath the deck.
Oh, there it is. Oh, this is it. This is the sample.
All right, go ahead, Cliff.
You mean really?
This is for all the marbles.
This doesn't have anything in it but like one card.
I know. Yeah, that's the sample part.
Layer, and then two.
Oh, look at this. Okay. Look what I got. We're going to open this up right now, ladies and gentlemen. Thanks for bearing with me. I thought that this was going to have 15 cards in it or more. I didn't think it would just have this. Okay. Oh, all right. We're going to open up. Sealed product, not for resale. Collector's Booster Sample Pack. I have 2 cards in here. Okay. That Meriadoc Brandy Buck that you opened up, I got the exact same one in foil.
Oh, okay.
With the showcase ring treatment in foil. That's what I got. And I also got a rare, that's an uncommon card. Here is my File of Galadriel. I got it. I got the Lady Galadriel's file.
Yeah, my Meriadoc one was foil too, I think, actually.
What's the card number on it?
On mine?
Yeah.
Okay, my File of Galadriel, its number is R0382. Oh.
Is it Vial, V-I, or F?
PH.
PH.
File. The file of Galadriel.
That is $1.75.
There you go. All right. Excellent. Look at these beautiful cards.
All right, Josh, what's your next pack?
Okay. The next one I got Aragorn.
Ooh.
Aragorn, King of Gondor. It says legendary creature, human noble. It is card number 0085. That was the first card.
Nice. That's a $2 card.
All right, take that.
Okay.
And then the other one was I got another one of those, another art card, and it's one of those that helps make up a scene. Pippin's Bravery,
Ooh, cool. A scene card. An instant. That's cool.
Yeah.
and it is 40414.
Okay, there you go. Nice.
Make sure I put it back in the right box so that way when I make a video on what's in the commander
And
decks,
that's
I
pretty
know
much
what one went with where. All right, I'll open the booster packs here with y'all. That's fine with me.
All right, let me
Yes,
do,
awesome.
Let me do
Thank you.
mine out of this commander deck. I guess I've opened my commander box, which means I can start learning how to play commander.
We're going to teach you how to play the regular game first.
Yeah, keep the other stuff too, because apparently you need those the little things that are all perforated that you can pop off. I know you guys were saying you need like those little tokens and stuff like that.
Yeah. All right, here we go.
The box is easy to open. Good lord.
The Shire. The Shire in a foil. You can see the rainbow effect.
Oh,
of
that's
the
great,
Shire.
Justin. Look at that.
Isn't that pretty?
Oh, that's nice.
That is really lovely. Really lovely indeed.
Man, the art on some of these is just crazy.
The Shire. This is a borderless card. Foil variant. That's a $2 card. And then Legolas Counter of Kills. And that's another. You can see the foil effect on the ring around the artwork. So that's what I got in mind.
All right, so my AON box, I got two the art cards that make a scene. First one's a non-foil Legolas Master Archer,
Okay.
and it is card number 0435.
That's a $2 card.
And then I got another one, and this is a foil. It's the Shire Sheriff. And it is card number 0441.
How do you spell sheriff?
SH, they don't spell it normally. SHIRRIFF. Or they don't spell it how we spell it in America.
Shire Sheriff. Borderless?
It is.
And that's a 50-cent card. So that's nice.
Yeah, I didn't figure Shire Sheriff was gonna bring home the big bucks on that one. That didn't scream, I'm retiring.
Yeah.
And then last but not least, I will open the booster pack from the.
So the biggest card, I believe, Cliff, you pulled a $30 card the other day.
Was it Tom Bombadil?
Yeah, I think it was a Tom Bombadil, and I think on
Yes.
our stream, Matt and I did a stream on Nerd of the Rings YouTube channel, which you should subscribe. We're trying to get to 1 million subs for free. Matt pulled a couple $30 cards, and he beat me in our little friendly competition of who had the most valuable deck.
Well, I'm gonna have to snag, like I said, one of those special collector booster boxes because that looks like that has some really cool stuff in it. And I'm a sucker on cards when it comes, especially when it comes to things like I like foils and special stuff and just neat little things like that are always what sucker me in. And it's but then you start like when I hear, like I told you guys, when I bought some of those Decipher cards, I was like, I have to have You guys know I like the Balrog.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Monica wants to know, are
I'm
the
like
foil
tracking.
cards worth more? In general, yes. And in fact, there are two types of foil. Magic the Gathering has a regular foil and then a special foil that
Hmm.
is kind of a foil and matte combo treatment.
That's a
They,
cool Sauron.
they call it a surge foil. Ooh, what
A
card's that?
surge foil.
Yeah,
Yeah.
so that's the top card shown on my
On the
commander deck
commander deck.
for it's Sauron. It's foil card. It's pretty cool looking actually.
Oh, that's fun. So yeah, if you get a surge foil of some of these cards, that it starts to get in the hundreds of dollars category. There are several cards that are averaging $300 to $500 each. If you get a surge foil of almost anything, because the surge foils are rare. Um,
Mm, intriguing.
Couple borderless art cards out of this one. Saruman the White Hand.
okay.
Oh, that's cool.
That's a really nice art card on that one. I like that a lot actually. 0091 legendary creature Avatar Wizard.
And that's a borderless
Uh-huh.
foil.
No, just regular.
Okay, it's a $4 card.
That's not terrible. That's better than the Shire Sheriff.
Yeah.
And then to go with Sauron, I got some Krebline.
Crabine.
Crab-
Crabine from Dunland.
And
Crabane,
it's
Crabane
a
from
foil.
Dunland.
0411.
Okay. Yeah, that's a nothing card.
That's like that goes with him and the Shire Sheriff can
Yeah.
go hang.
Well, and that one's even like a 25-cent card. It's nothing.
I'd probably have to pay somebody to take that one, to be honest with you.
Yeah, that's
Do you know,
that.
if you look at some Magic collectors who are on Amazon, some of their negative comments and reviews are only from the perspective of investing. They're not actually negative reviews about the game or the artwork or the engine of the game. The only comments I saw were, why am I investing $400 in this and I didn't pull more than $50 worth of value cards?
Well, I can tell you on Sunday, last Sunday, Matt Nerd of the Rings and I split the cost of one of these boxes.
Yes.
And so he opened half the box, 6 packs. I opened half the box, 6 packs. We ended up with $400 worth of cards.
Yep.
So
that really does.
Maybe we just lucked out, but the box paid for itself basically.
Yes.
People that do that are one of the reasons why card collecting in general is kind of sucks at times. Obviously, I still collect sports cards a little bit. The last couple of years, my dad and I have gotten back into buying the Topps baseball cards when they come out. And one box I got that we bought last year, I got a redemption card for a rookie that was super limited. That's worth a fair amount. This last box that we got to start this baseball season off, there wasn't hardly anything worth a darn it in the 2 boxes that we bought, and the 2 boxes were about $400 combined. So it's where that box was in the print run. One,
right? It's just
and then depending on the how much they're produced. I mean, if Topps or Magic produce a boatload of set 1, the cards themselves are going to be lower valued because there's more of them out there. It's no different than statues. The lower the run on a statue, 1, it's going to cost you more because they couldn't produce as many, and then 2, the secondary value has a chance to go higher because there aren't as many out there, to float around in the secondary market. So people that buy stuff to just simply invest, kind of, I don't know.
Well, my family calls this the Willy Wonka golden ticket. The entire world is captivated with these collector boxes, trying to find that $2 million card. And in the meantime, like I said earlier, there are 1,900 serialized ring cards that are going for thousands and thousands of dollars. So some of this could be life-changing money. If you lucked out and bought a $50 pack and got a $5,000 card, you know, you're in the money.
You're not going to believe it, Justin, but I just made a phone call to that really nice retailer in Redlands that you went to, and he said, "Yeah, buddy, I'm sold out. There's no more." And he actually he remembered you, and he's actually delighted that we're talking about the boosters on the OneRing.net today. But he actually said, "Yeah, I'm sorry, I'm sold out." And that would probably be the last store in Southern California that has them.
Like I said, they're sold out everywhere. Matt had to drive an hour to Kentucky to get his last box, and check this out. It was so exciting. When we opened this one box on Sunday, not this one, the people in the chat room donated enough money for Matt and I to buy this extra box, and so we're gonna do round 2 this Sunday at noon Pacific. So this Sunday, or maybe 11, I forget. This Sunday, we're gonna Matt and I are gonna open a box. I bought one. He found a store where he bought one because the chat donated enough money to see it again. So as long as people want to donate enough to keep opening packs on stream, we'll keep doing it. But my final thought before we let you go, Josh, let's say I kept this box for Comic-Con. And let's say Elijah Wood showed up to Comic-Con and come by our booth. And let's say Elijah Wood opened a pack and got the One Ring.
Oh my gosh, I'm dying. I'm dying.
Would you have him sign it?
Yeah, of course.
It's already worth $2 million. Would his signature devalue, and his fingerprints devalue, a $2 million card?
Ooh,
that's an interesting question. That's a very interesting question.
Honestly, I don't think I'd have him sign it.
You wouldn't?
Really?
Okay, fair.
I think I would. I think just because anything,
you'd have him sign the wrapper after the.
I'd have him sign like the wrapper. I'd have him sign any other Frodo card, because the way I would put it like this, and it was this is how it was. You know, someone that didn't collect cards tried to explain cards to me when I was a kid. These things are only worth as much as someone's willing to pay for.
True.
You know, someone is willing to pay $2 million for the one-of-one ring card not signed. We have no idea what someone might be willing to pay for a one-of-one ring card signed by Elijah Wood. That's not to say I wouldn't want Elijah Wood to sign something, because I would love to have his signature. But do you stay with the devil you know versus the devil you don't?
Right.
I mean, I
that.
probably wouldn't, just because I know I have $2 million. I might be able to double it. I might be able to add $500,000 to it, whatever. But if all the collectors that want to do this don't want his signature, now you have a card that's worth, I don't want to say nothing, but it's worth whatever someone's willing to pay.
It's still one of one.
Right. It just creates a weird dynamic. So
it does. So your answer is,
I would say I would probably not, just because I know I have $2 million, and I'm a school teacher, so I only make school teacher money, and I would gladly take the money that I would get from selling it for $2 million. So,
Cliff, would you have him sign the card?
I would, without a doubt.
The front or the back?
The back, probably. Probably the back.
Are you keeping the card then?
Maybe. I mean, just to spite the collectors in the world. Imagine all the people in the world knowing, oh, wow, he got Frodo to sign it.
That's your retirement.
And now he's not going to sell it.
Yeah.
Well,
here, you know what I would do?
What?
You're going to hate me. But
oh
if
my gosh,
Frodo
what are you
himself opened the One Ring card,
yeah?
I would tell him to destroy it right on camera and make millions in YouTube money from a video of Elijah Wood ripping the one of one in half and fulfill his destiny that we never got to see in the movies.
Oh my gosh, can you imagine? All right, you know what? I would make a fake reprint of the card and then do a video.
It has to be real.
I can't do that. You're crazy. The chat is thinking you're.
That's the kind of thing I expect from Justin, though. He is oh, I can't think of a good word. Um, he's definitely that throw you off out of the blue kind of, we're gonna do this kind of stuff. And you and I are like debating the merits of keeping it, screwing over the investors, doing adjustments. Like, I just want to do it for the likes.
Yes, he's definitely the Robin Goodfellow. In our little production of A Midsummer Night's Dream, I know who's going to play the puck. And that's you, Justin.
Tell
You
me
would be
that
the
we
mischievous
wouldn't
puck.
make millions in YouTube revenue with
Oh, it would
the
100% go viral. It would 100% go viral. Just for
Actually, it would be one of the greatest moments in the internet to see Elijah Wood destroy a $2 million magic card. That would be amazing.
people would lose their minds. Absolutely lose their mind.
well,
What if he doesn't want to? What if Elijah's kind of like, no, 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 no,
well,
you
then
guys.
he'd be play acting what Tolkien wrote, where at the crack of doom, when it really mattered, Frodo failed. He is
Yep.
a failure.
Have Andy Serkis jump in, wrestle with him, rip it out of his hand.
Oh, that's hilarious.
We just play this up. We just,
Well, so this is the final part of this segment. Is I want to get your vibe, Josh. Like the world is spending millions of dollars. Last we heard, Magic has sold $3 million worth of these collector cards. To chase the One Ring. Is this a play action? Are we cosplaying a chase for the ring? Has Sauron corrupted us, where people are buying these cards not to play Magic and build a community of game players like Cliff would want, but they're just doing stupid streams like XQC and me and Matt
well, that's
and
what
stuff.
that's what I was talking about. There are 100% people that are tracking down, and I don't know if that streamer really likes Lord of the Rings or not. I don't really even know them until they popped up into my feed. But yes, there are 100% people that don't care about Magic, don't care about Lord of the Rings, don't want to learn to play it, whatever. Anything else, even in that zip code. That they just want to find the One Ring, sell it for the $2 million, pocket whatever's left after taxes, and live on. Or not pay taxes on it. Maybe they'll do that.
So where do you fall in? Do you feel it is a gift worth chasing, or are you just here to learn a game?
I'm first and foremost, I want to get some of these cards because I think the art in general is very pretty, and I'm a fan of cool art from something I care about. I mean, like I said, that's why I literally have someone who's a friend of mine, as my background on Zoom for anything I'm on, whether it's work related or coming on here and taking up time. So for me, it's about Lord of the Rings first for me. And then if at Comic-Con or something like that, Cliff wants to try and pull what hair he has left out trying to teach me how to play this, I'm cool with trying to learn a minute of it. But for me, it's more about collecting Middle Earth.
Collecting great art, yeah.
So
William in the chat room.
If I was to stumble upon the ring card, that would be amazing. And yes, I would probably sell it. I'm a school teacher, as I've already said. You guys know this. I need the money. I mean, I always have bills to pay, have family I want to help take care of, things like that. So yes, I would sell the card because it would benefit my family long term.
That's great. William in the chat room says Elijah would turn to me and say, "The ring is mine," and then he would run off.
And that would be also awesome too.
Cliff, you come from a place of loving the community of gaming. So what do you feel about people that are just buying this to chase the golden ticket?
That's always been one of the things that Magic the Gathering has had as an issue, if you would put that in air quotes, because there's the collectible aspect of it, but there's also the very good strategic gameplay. You're going to get hours and hours and hours of good times with your friends playing this actual game in real life, not just chasing a golden ticket. But that is also the truth that a lot of people who play professionally, and there's a worldwide circuit of tournaments and championship players who go to big events around the world.
Don't
And
they
the
do
biggest
Marriott there at Comic-Con? Don't they have one of those rooms
Yeah.
has magic or something going on in it?
There's a dedicated Magic the Gathering at every Comic-Con. But Wizards of the Coast organizes tournament play at a level where there's like nationals, regionals, regionals and then nationals, and then the world level champion. And the prize purse for somebody who is the best Magic the Gathering player in the world, that is a huge, huge cash prize for that. It's like winning an Olympic gold medal.
Yeah,
it's like winning an Olympic gold medal. But those people who play at that hyper competitive level, the complaint with regular average players is that those high-end tournament players have access to the rarest rare cards that make it really challenging to win against them. They have such insane abilities of constructing their own tournament winning decks of cards. And when you have the best source of money, when you have, daddy's credit card on hand and you're just buying lots of Magic, you can throw away all the useless and mediocre cards and then build a deck that's just those expensive rares. And those are the tournament level players. And some people just complain in general that average, like garden variety average players, are priced out of the competitive arena of that Magic game.
And then the competitive players complain about these casual people that have way more money than them that are just buying these cards and tossing them to the side until they find the $2 million card.
The ironic thing is that somewhere there's an unopened collector's booster and we might never, ever, ever find the One Ring. Imagine it just being someone buys it.
Imagine it's in the spokes of someone's bicycle right now.
Funny. No, but what if someone wants to appreciate the value of the box? So they buy it, they don't open it, and then that's what they're doing. They're appreciating the value. Imagine someone stuffing that box away and never ever opening it. We might never know that the One Ring was found. Me, personally, I would be happy with one of those $7,000 or $11,000 Dwarven Ring cards. I'd be happy with that.
Honestly, selfishly, I want to buy another one of these boxes, keep it sealed, and wait to Christmas. If the One Ring hasn't been found by Christmas, these things will be selling for thousands of dollars. Thousands of dollars.
And I hope for like just collecting purposes that this, I mean, I know obviously it's taking off partially because of the One Ring. That doesn't hurt, but I really would like it if this took off more to where they expanded the artists that they've used in this phase of it, and there's more. And you, like I said, I'll keep promoting the guy. If they look at people like Jerry Vanderstel and said, "Hey, would you like to do some cards?" Do some, eventually get to where, I mean, obviously we know they're doing Bakshi. Get to work out, figure out how to way to do like the Decipher back in the day. Let's get some where it's some of the screen grabs from the trilogy. To me, I have a whole bunch of like the Topps Chrome Lord of the Rings cards that came out and all those so I like card collecting, and I especially like card collecting for things that I really am interested in. So yeah, I hope this goes really well because this is kind of fun, and I could see where you could go really sideways.
Justin, how much are the Nazgul going for? Like all of them are different portraits, but they're nine different art portraits for the exact same card. And I was curious what those Nazgul are worth. I'm just curious.
I steal more of your time, but I'll ask you this while I'm here, Cliff.
Yes, please.
You're talking about so I know, obviously these are pre-built cards for a mode of play, right? Yep. But you can find these cards in any of the regular packs, right? Or are these special?
Yes.
Okay.
Yes.
So when I go to open this up and make a video, I might have a special card in here that that wasn't in the booster pack, but might actually be kind of special because it's a foil or something. Am I understanding some of that correctly?
From what I know,
Okay.
the commander decks, just like the starters, are always the same. They're always pre-constructed. Okay. That means there is no difference in the distribution of rarity.
Okay.
So you won't find any surprises. The surprise that you would have found was us just opening up that sample collector that we just did. Okay. The rest of what you've not opened up, that cellophane sealed deck, is always going to be an identical list of cards every person every time.
Like the Sauron that's on the top. It's a
Mhm.
foil. You can tell it. I mean, I don't know if you guys can tell
Yeah.
but it's obviously a foil.
Yep.
So it's just a base foil, is what is how
Yep.
is my understanding.
That's
Okay.
right. And you might open up other regular boosters later on,
Oh,
and you might pull a nice regular plain version of that Sauron, or you
okay.
might pull another foil version of that Sauron, or
Okay.
you might, if you're getting the collector's boosters, then it's more likely that you're going to be opening up um, and getting if you open up more and more of these boosters,
Mhm.
these are the regular ones. These are just the regular set boosters, not the nice collector's ones that Justin has been talking about this whole time.
Right.
But the more you open, the more you're going to get duplicates and duplicates of cards.
Because I noticed you guys the other night, and then Matt too was getting some duplicates,
Oh, you
even
will.
on the special booster boxes. That you guys
Mhm.
were getting some duplicates of some of those cards.
Yeah. Do you know why? Because you can have up to 4 copies in your deck. You can
Uh,
play the game, and if you have a card that's really, really good, you can have
uh-huh.
up to four copies of it in your standard deck. The only
Okay.
difference is that if you have a legendary person like a Gandalf or a Frodo or an Elrond, the
Okay.
word on the card says legendary, and you are
Okay.
not allowed to have more than one copy. Look
Right.
at
So
my
like
art card.
when I
I just
got with
got a
the
nice
Lord,
art card. I'm sorry, you were asking? Sorry?
so like the Aragorn that I got in one of the booster packs, it said legendary. So I could only have one of him in a deck, correct?
Yeah,
Okay.
that's right. In a deck of cards, you can only have uh, only one legendary.
Oh, okay. Okay.
Only
Okay.
one legendary copy of one person. Okay. Well, I opened up a nice new booster pack, and look what I got. I got a showcase ring version of
Oh,
Faramir. This is
oh,
Faramir.
that's cool.
Yeah, it's not foil, but it is a nice rare.
Those are, and
Okay.
see, this is what I'm talking about, like from just a collector's perspective, and to kind of go back to Justin's question a minute ago. Some of this, I mean, outside of maybe mess around at Comic Con with you guys, I'm probably not going to play a lot of Magic, but I would collect them because I think the art is really neat. It's
Yeah,
pretty cards,
they are
and
lovely.
and
Look at this. Isildur's Fateful Strike. This is a rare that I got. What's this one worth, Justin?
Oh, box cards aren't worth anything like that. It's the borderless cards that all have the value.
Ah, the borderless cards. Okay, well, I think this is going to be. Now, here's where I'm going to come in and say something as a player of the game. All right, not a collector. This rare card, which is called Isildur's Fateful Strike, is a powerful, very, very useful card. I could use this in my deck with my goblins and my orcs and my other Sauron, and I could use this and I could just really get some excellent, superior strategies out of that, and I could use it to win. I could really use it to win against my most difficult enemy.
when you guys were
And
talking about like there's cards that like that like instantly kill stuff that like that it mentions on there like you play
yep,
this card that like just instantly kills stuff. I'm going,
destroy target creature. Yes.
that's great. I'm like, some of this is just so you're speaking French, man. That's all I
Well, let's just say, in a nutshell, for those
right.
of you who are not familiar, when you play the game Magic, you are casting spells. You are a person in the game recognized as a planeswalker. You're walking the ethereal planes of different fantasy realms, but when you play a card, you're summoning the creature onto the battlefield, and that is the table space in front of you in your opponent, and he's doing the same thing. He's playing the creatures, and the creatures come out and sit on the table permanently for the entire game, like this warg. Look at this warg.
That's
It's a
cool.
nice shiny foil of an evil warg. So when I put the card out in front of me, those creatures are going to stay out on the table for the entirety of the game until they're destroyed and they're taken off the table. And while I have those cards in front of me, I'm going to keep attacking my opponent and keep attacking him over and over until I can reduce his life from 20 points down to 0 points. And
You
as soon
said
as I do that, I win the game. Mm-hmm.
that's what you
But
said.
in that is from Commander, and Commander is a format that starts with 40. twice as many
Oh,
life points.
it does have twice.
Starts with 40, but that's a whole different format of playing the game.
Could you
All
use
right.
this in a pinch if you didn't it for just a regular, since one side starts at 20?
Of course you can. Of course you can, yeah. So as you play the game, you learn to get out powerful cards, probably come out later in the game. Earlier in the game, you get out weak cards, as long as you can get something out to defend yourself. And eventually, as you play, you're going to have a whole variety of different cards out in front of you that represent these magical beings that you have summoned. And now, because it's Lord of the Rings, they're all familiar characters that you're using Samwise and Bill the Pony and Sauron and orcs and Olog-hai, trolls. You're using all these familiar things to do the exact same game. You're laying out your permanent cards. They're called permanents because they stay indefinitely for the entirety of the game. And then bam, you just use them to reduce your enemy from 20 down to 0 life. There are other cards like sorceries that can zap you. I can zap you for direct damage, or I can play out a variety of creatures on the tabletop. And one of the most interesting cards I opened up a week ago was Tom Bombadil. Tom Bombadil, who is a wonderful character, and he is indestructible. If he's out on the field and there's certain conditions that are met, you can never zap him. You can't destroy him at all. It's really cool.
He's
but
actually
he's a useful card. Yeah. So
to answer some of the questions in the chat room, we talked about this a little earlier. So there are 300 Elven One Rings serialized, which means 001
foil.
to
the word you mean is foil.
300.
There's 300 foil versions of those.
And then there are 700 Dwarven One Rings or Soul Rings. And then there are 900 human man. I think it is called human One Rings or Soul Rings. And those are selling for $2,000 and up all the way to $12,000. And you can see on screen, if you get a One Ring that has just the Elvish script on the card and it's not serialized. So we don't even know how many of those they made, but probably more than 2,000, more than the 1,900 that the serialized have. That market price is currently $600. If you find the One Ring card not numbered, $600. Josh, you just sat back in your chair.
I don't have one of those. I have a one ring, but it's not the one that's worth $600. There are many variations of the One Ring that are in print.
These are specifically just have Elvish text on it, correct?
Correct.
Wow, that is. First off, it's kind of crazy that there's this many versions, and just the price spectrum on it. I mean, it's kind of. You, like I told you on Messenger when you and I were just kind of shooting the breeze the other day. I come from a baseball, football, basketball, so I'm used to some cards having there's different tiers, but you don't really see, at least not recently, I don't think, the price jump between
it just has to do with the rarity because look, let's say
the One Ring, one of one's $2 million. You got one that's a non-foil that's got Elvish script. It's $600. It's like, no, this is why people are losing their minds and going and spending the money, because the value on these right now is wow.
Well, even if the $2 million card is found, these will still be valuable because there are serialized One Rings to be found.
Right.
1,900 of them.
Yep.
And so those will maintain value.
Look what I just opened up. I opened up this box topper. This is a special Realms and Relics box topper.
Sure.
And it is a beautiful, shiny foil of the party tree.
What's the number at the bottom right? Bottom left?
think you and Matt opened this up, the party tree in foil. It is letter M as in Martha, 0348. This is a gold foil stamped, borderless party tree. The Great Henge is the subtext.
Cliff,
on it.
that is a $50 card.
Wow! Oh!
Get your fingers off of it. Put that in an acrylic case right now.
$50 for the party tree in
you need
foil.
You need to buy. I mean, I'm
Now
assuming
there,
they have them in like at like a specialty card store for like where you get Magic and stuff, maybe comic book shop or something. But if there's a baseball card, if there's a sports card shop around you, get some plastic little penny, what they call penny sleeves and top loaders.
Yep.
Yeah,
Yeah.
you need stuff like that. And for
Every game shop, every comic book and game store sells card sleeves because a lot of people who play lots of tabletop games, not just Magic the Gathering,
Right.
everybody likes to sleeve their cards to prevent them from being damaged and worn out from
and you have to
grubby
get it graded if you
oil
want
on
to
your
get it
hands.
graded. Now, Cliff, that
Yeah.
was a $50 version because you gave me the number 348. If
Yes.
it had the number 378,
Yes.
foil 378, it's
Uh-huh.
considered a surge foil, and
That's
it's
right.
worth $500 currently on the
Nice.
market.
there are a few of the booster boxes showing up on Amazon, but you have to go to the secondary sellers. The cheapest price is $539.
Yep.
The most
I saw that. I just saw that. I was just
$5.99,
looking at that myself. Yeah. Yeah.
and you can. It looks like the earliest you can get them is July 3rd. No, I'm sorry. There's one for June 30th, but most of them are July 3rd. So
Ah.
you're going to probably have to go to eBay or whatever. Holy.
Well, so I think
Okay.
these are going to continue to go up in value unopened, and until all of the serialized rings or cards, not just the $1 million card, but all the serialized rings cards have been found. So anyway, Josh, good talking to you. We're going to see you in 4 short weeks at San Diego Comic-Con. Looking forward to it. Unfortunately, Weta doesn't have a booth, as you just reported today, breaking news. So you won't be able to provide a video tour of Weta's booth. But guess what? I'll let you do a video tour of Torn's booth with the Weta exclusive.
I can do that. We can.
That's awesome.
I'll bring my phone. We'll figure it out.
Well, I appreciate you coming on and opening those booster packs. Good luck next time.
Me too.
And if you do find some extra change at the bottom of a paycheck in the middle of summer break, this is the box to get: the
I think I'm
green
gonna have-
collector booster.
I'm gonna have to search maybe the eBays and see.
You know, Garfemau was in the chat asking, what does the One Ring do when it's actually actively in play in the game? And
I don't know. It's an Elvish script. Do you think I can read that?
No, but there are other versions of the One Ring that are playable. When you buy the pre-release, okay, and that
But
was
the ones that are worth money are all in Elvish script. You have to be able to read it.
That is true, but they are mechanically the same. But look, there's another one that is released, and it is not actually a card. It's like a token reference. Now, everybody could get this one. This is inside the pre-release, and you'll get it, and you will get it in like every other set booster might have this. This is a version of the One Ring, which is worthless. It is not going to be worth anything on the secondary market. But in active gameplay, all of these terrific abilities are assigned to one of your creatures that you have out in play. Maybe it's Frodo, maybe it's Faramir, but you can make that person the ring bearer. And when you make Faramir or Gollum or Samwise the ring bearer, you'll bring this out and have it actively on the table. And all these printed abilities will become available for your character card, and they get more and more and more. Every time the ring tempts you, another ability is revealed. And if the ring tempts you again, then another ability is revealed. And you'll have this sitting on the side of your table, and you'll realize, wow, my ring bearer, who is actively whoever it is, like, for example, Tom Bombadil. Just like in the story, I could make Tom Bombadil the ring bearer. And if he gets tempted by the ring, all these new abilities will make his card play more powerful and more powerful and more powerful as you play. So in active gameplay, Kathy, just to tell you, Kathy, and everybody else, it is a fantastic, really, really cool mechanic. One of the most interesting mechanics that they've added to a classic game that's been around for decades. But it's really cool.
That's cool.
Not worth anything on the
Very good.
collector's market, but that's how you
Josh,
play.
before we go, I want to get your opinion. Jurassic Park is having a 30th anniversary off-site at Comic-Con. Sign-ups begin Thursday morning to get a photo op with a life-size robot T-Rex as you sit on a toilet. This is an official off-site Jurassic Park photo op with a
Don't
robotic
even.
T-Rex. Will you sign up for that photo op, Josh, on this Thursday? And will you?
What time Thursday does it go up?
I believe 10 a.m. Pacific time.
So noon. So what is that? Is that noon for me? That's noon for me.
Yeah, I think it's noon for you.
I'm in a spot where I might for giggles, but I'm taking a class this week. So for my job. So I'm.
The T-Rex is going to terrify me, but I'm going to try to sign up. Eravani says, why is it on a toilet? If you remember Jurassic Park, the first movie, the lawyer runs out of the Jeep in the rainstorm, thinks he's hiding from the T-Rex in the toilet.
Outhouse. He's in the outhouse. Yeah.
And then the T-Rex comes and blows the straw hut down and
eats him.
Yeah,
eats him off the toilet.
From the first Jurassic Park movie.
And it's a not so subtle.
You do have to sign up for this. This is an off-site, like the Dungeons and Dragons pub from last year. There's a registration to book a time to visit this experience.
I love it. I loved it.
Or is it free?
It's free, but you have to sign up.
Do you know what? The Dungeons and Dragons experience last summer was wonderful. It was a wonderful. Even Matt at Nerd of the Rings will tell you. We went with his brother and friends from Torn. It was so fun. It was so good.
I might if I'm in a spot where I can. You might. Hey, if you remember, send me the link when it goes live because I'll see that message from you while I'm in this class. So
I'll send you the link. Well, thanks for joining us, Josh. It's been a real treat opening some Magic cards with you.
Yeah, that was really fun, dude. Thanks for being with us.
See ya. All right, that was your weekly update on Magic the Gathering. We're going to continue this until the One Ring is found or until I run out of money and Cliff runs out of money.
Justin, would you like to split a box with me?
I am out of money. The only reason I have this is because people donated during Matt's stream. So you can watch this Sunday at, I believe, 11 a.m. or I believe it's 11 a.m. Pacific. I will open this. And if people donate $10 at a time, that's only 40 people need to donate. And we'll get another box and then we can open it with you. Because I'm just tapped out for Comic-Con. I shouldn't be doing this. I'm not being smart with money. But you can watch me and Nerd of the Rings on his channel this Sunday. Make sure you subscribe to Nerd of the Rings, and let's help get him to 1 million subs before Comic-Con.
Okay, nice. Well, excellent. Well, you only had to buy one box. The second one was paid for, so that's good. That's good. And you're splitting it in half with a friend, which is even smarter. That's the smartest way to do that.
Yeah, I'm out of money. Like it's crazy.
Did you actually send half of the packs to him across the country?
Yeah, it was the only way. He couldn't get any boxes near him. He was all of his stores. If you want to know all about the differences between the gift bundles, the commander decks, go ahead and watch Torn Tuesday last week, where Cliff and I go through all of the different things: white packs, brown packs, booster packs, bundle packs,
Jumpstart boosters. Decks. The Jumpstart boosters.
Jumpstarts were the white pack. Yeah, so
which is different from all the other regular set boosters.
We spent a whole show last week talking about all the differences. And the cool thing about YouTube is that you can watch at 2x speed and 4x speed. So we sound like this, but yeah, you'll get all the information in like 30 minutes. Cliff, this is a big week.
So we're gonna sound like a character from Ed, and Eddie from the 90s? Is that what you... We're gonna sound like the Cartoon Network, Friday afternoon. You're so funny.
All right, moving on. I didn't expect that we would spend over an hour on Magic the Gathering, but this is what has the fandom hooked right now.
I can't believe the other Twitch streamer had 50,000 viewers.
Look, that's normal for XQC. He just signed $100 million deal.
Yeah, of course.
With Kick.
Yeah.
So he is one of the most richest streamers.
Have you ever heard of him playing Magic before? No.
No.
They're not even Magic players.
Right. It's
all
like
looking for the
Logan
One Ring.
Paul didn't care about Pokemon until it was a content thing, and Logan Paul suddenly started opening Pokemon packs.
Oh, yeah.
So,
Yeah, of course. Of course.
So, look, as long as people want to continue watching this content and keep buying cards, I'm happy to open them for you guys on stream and make jokes and stuff like that. But so, Cliff, last night at 10 p.m., ballots were due for the nominations for this year's Emmy Awards.
No, these are not daytime. This is the prime time Emmy Awards.
Prime time Emmy Awards.
It's a whole different program, different thing.
Andor,
Yeah.
House of the Dragon.
Yeah, The Rings of
Abbott
Power.
Elementary.
Oh, yeah,
Law
Abbott
and
Elementary.
Order,
Better Call Saul.
Better Call Saul, FBI,
The Boys.
NCIS.
I know. I'm driving around town and I'm looking at the Amazon Prime adverts, and they've got billboards and adverts all around town, and they're saying for your consideration, and it's all of their shows, including The Marvelous Mrs. Maisel, and The Boys, and Rings of Power, and they're really all over Los Angeles. They're covering the town with billboards, and
and you'll see at the top
for
left
your
of the
consideration.
screen, that's what FYC is. You might hear us say those three letters a lot today. FYC, for your consideration.
FYC.
It's an industry term. And conveniently, Amazon has set up this whole website for nominations. So a lot of people in the business that vote for Emmy Awards could watch all the episodes with or without an Amazon account. They have nominations and wins. These are all the awards that Rings of Power has been nominated for, and of course, there's a couple that it's won. It won an Art Director Guild Award for its commercials, and it won International Film Music Critics Award for Bear McCreary's score.
Yes.
And then it won Outstanding Visual Effects in an episode for the making the volcano explode at the Visual Effects Society Awards.
Nice.
So not necessarily any of the major ones. These are kind of like a lot of awards from the smaller kind of guilds, creative guilds. But as we reviewed, and pretty much everyone else reviewed Rings of Power, the creative work done on season 1 is worth everything. And it has got 2 Art Director Guild Awards and Film Music Awards and Visual Effects Awards. And those are all the best parts of the
not
show.
the least a bit surprised that the art department and the art direction is getting a lot of attention.
Cliff, but interesting here, there is video content, and I don't think many people know about this, and maybe I should write an article and link to this for everybody. But if you just Google Amazon Prime for your consideration, or go to consideramazon.com. That's www.consideramazon.com.
Yeah, they used to send out an electronic press kit. Now you can just go online and look at the press kit.
So these are all videos, folks. These are all videos.
Yeah.
Let's take a look at this first one with the showrunners, J.D. Payne, Patrick McKay.
Second Age is the great unfilmed story in Tolkien's entire Legendarium, with the forging of the rings and the last alliance. And we felt that that was the story that deserved to be told.
Galadriel has been on a quest for over 1,000 years, scouring Middle-earth, searching for this elusive, undiscovered, very real evil. Ultimately, she knows this danger exists. This evil has to be stopped.
From the beginning, we knew she couldn't do this alone. Every good quest needs a fellowship.
3, 2, 1. I think the scope of the show is massive.
This is the time where the characters and species that we know and love become who we know them to be.
Tolkien represents. It's really important that we keep that legacy alive.
In this show, something can happen in a split second that changes everything. It's dangerous and shocking.
It's dangerous and shocking, Cliff. You're muted.
Dangerous and shocking. That's what I was saying. It is dangerous and shocking. Oh my goodness.
So yeah, there are a ton of videos at consideramazon.com, including, you might have seen all of these panel discussions. Look at that right up top. There's 1, 2, 3, 4 panel discussions from various events that have been happening here in Los Angeles. We've been to a few of them. I don't think we've been to all of them, but we've been to a few of them where the cast gets together and they just talk about, and this one is 1 hour 37 minutes. So these are long form panel discussions. Let me see if I can fast forward. With the cast and crew.
Is so amazingly versed in the lore of Tolkien. Every thread of the costume.
Little behind the scenes videos.
Into the fires, it kind of backs out even further into yellows.
Essentially, we
Alex
created this
Dysendorf.
very narrow bandwidth of color on set. We found
contained. It's smaller. Another character I struggled with initially was Elrond, because I wanted to create something very optimistic and diplomatic. We're meeting him at a youthful time in his life. But there's something going on with this guy. He's displaced from his family. He's an outcast. We've gone from the major to the minor, which is super weird. It's really weird to do that. But don't worry.
So there's a
wow,
ton,
that's cool
there's
stuff.
A ton of videos here. Cliff,
that's really cool stuff, and we can watch any of it, and we don't have to have a journalist credentials from a journalist point of view or a magazine or a newspaper. You can just go and check it out.
Yeah,
right?
Consider Amazon. You don't have to have a login. You can just go there. You can watch all of these panels with all this behind the scenes. There's with different groups of people. You've got Nazanin Boniadi and Lloyd Owen. You've got Sophia and Ramsey.
Oh yeah, that's so
Ismail
cool.
and Isildur in there. So there's a ton of different panels. Not only that, you guys remember the Collider. We gave away, we linked to passes to this. Collider did a video panel, and of course they got exclusive interviews with Ramsey Avery. So I just this is some of the effort that Amazon wants an Emmy so bad. Not only did they make all of this website, they put together all of these Q&As. The chat room, Cliff, says, too bad they didn't put forth this type of effort before the show started, because we fans would have loved to be introduced to them, to the cast.
Yeah, I agree. This is the kind of material that would have made excellent pre-release publicity, not post-release.
Correct. So Collider has a great article on Ramsey Avery, production designer. I should remind you that as we reported back in January, Cliff,
yes,
Ramsey's no longer involved with the show. He was let go, and he was replaced for season 2.
Yes, that's right.
But
so ironically,
who doesn't like to win an Emmy? So Ramsey has made himself available to hopefully win an Emmy, even though he's no longer employed on Rings of Power. Other visual effects society did a whole article about 2023 Emmy contenders and the central role of visual effects. Of course, there's the White Witches and not Gandalf. Rodeo Effects did 580 shots, and I believe there were over 2,000 FX shots for Rings of Power Season 1.
Wow.
Deadline had a whole takeover of several videos and articles on Lord of the Rings of Power creators break the bank to bring a new reality to the fantasy genre. And of course, you can see this whole website from Deadline is sponsored by Amazon Prime. Yahoo Entertainment. Why the Lord of the Rings of Power score was a perfect fit for Emmy-winning composer, Tolkien enthusiast Bear McCreary. These are just some of the articles that have blanketed Hollywood for the last 2 months, Cliff, and it's huge. But I wanted to get your feedback, your reaction. Let me scroll down on this. Scroll down on this Bear McCreary interview at Yahoo Entertainment.
Yes, let's take a closer look. Yes,
because Cliff, here's a quote from Bear McCreary, and I want to get your feedback. Let me see if I can make it bigger. Bear McCreary says, "It's an error to assume that most people watching Rings of Power have seen the Peter Jackson films."
That's silly. That is something we've discussed before when you first pointed that out to me. That is extremely silly. It's so silly. That's so silly.
Why is it silly?
What? Who's not going to be familiar with Peter Jackson's films by now?
And they're kind of Amazon's kind of building off of Peter Jackson's movie aesthetic.
To the point that they got Howard Shore to come on board as a collaborator to do the musical opening theme title credits music. Are you trying to tell me that you really don't believe people are fully familiar with New Line Cinema's 3 movies? Good gravy. Good gravy. I can't even. That's very silly.
This is how much they want the Emmy Awards, where they're willing to
lie openly.
This is
what is that?
This is this isn't a mistranslation. I don't know what this is, but to say in a show that hired Howard Shore, in a show with New Line Cinema's logo at the end credits of every episode, to say
exactly
that you have to go into this show. Most people watching Rings of Power, it's an error to assume most people watching.
Maybe we could talk to him and interview him someday, and he can clarify what he really meant by that statement. But it rings silly to me.
What nice wordplay, rings.
Thank you,
Cliff. The second part of this comment.
Well, it doesn't ring true. It doesn't seem true at all.
It's not true at all. So
none of us could actually say with a straight face, "Wow, so much of Tolkien fandom is unfamiliar with Peter Jackson's films." No, come on.
So Cliff, it says Bear McCreary says,
not
if
most.
You understand the lore.
Daisy Kim in the live chat says some people maybe, but not most.
Most people watching this show have seen Rings of Power, Lord of the Rings. Literally,
yes.
Most people that watch CSI and NCIS and FBI International and Law and Order, maybe that would hold true. Most people watching Law and Order probably haven't seen Lord of the Rings. But everyone, I promise you, it's like a 99% overlap. If you watched Rings of Power, you watched Peter Jackson's things. But Cliff, the second part of this, Bear McCreary says, if you understand the lore, I've got you. I'm supporting you. Do you agree with that statement? Do you feel supported by Bear McCreary's work?
Yeah, because it's so thoughtful. Yeah, I do. Yeah, he's incredibly thoughtful about his approach to this work. So sure, I'd go along with that.
Okay. Another thing that I want to show you guys. There's been a lot of discussion that the Rings of Power Twitter and Instagram accounts have gone completely dead. They haven't posted in months and months and months. And it's like
wonder what that means.
It just feels like Amazon doesn't really care about building a community around the show. There's just a window of marketing, and that's only when they tweet. But folks,
okay.
Amazon has not been tweeting from the accounts to please fans. They've been spending a boatload of money on promoted tweets. And if you look at the bottom there, it says promoted tweet. I have 26 tweets here that have aired in the last 6 weeks that have come across my feed. How production designer Ramsey Avery, FX Voice, sci-fi.com, promoted by Amazon. Post Magazine by Amazon. Vanity Fair, promoted by Amazon. IndieWire, promoted by Amazon. Slash Film, promoted by Amazon. More Slash Film, promoted by Amazon. That's a Disney I don't know how that got in here. Variety.com, promoted by Amazon. IndieWire, Vanity Fair, Variety, ConsiderAmazon.com. That's the website we were just looking at. VFXVoice.com. You can see that, folks, they've been tweeting 2 or 3 times a day. GoldDerby.com /film.com. Amazon has been tweeting 2 or 3 times a day and, posting on Instagram. Look at that huge FYC tweet from Alex Dizenoff. So Cliff, Amazon has not been tweeting where fans can see it. They've been tweeting and paying to promote it in the feeds of Hollywood.
That's
so Amazon
right.
has been very, very active. They are hungry for an Emmy
awards.
Award.
Well, they always were, and we said that years ago. We actually told the audience, the audience that has been so faithful with us every Tuesday for years now, we've been saying that a long, long time ago, that they're in it for the prestige. They're in it for these awards.
Well, they didn't really get the viewers because 37% completion rate is an utter failure.
That is a big mess.
Holding an audience.
Marketing, that's a big mess.
To be clear, marketing at Amazon did a perfect job getting 100 million people to tune into the premiere. It was up to the showrunners and the writers, mostly the showrunners, because there were no writers on set for season 1, as we reported 3 years ago. It was mostly the showrunners to hold the attention. All they had to do was hold the attention with Tolkien's legendary storytelling skills.
Yep.
And it has one of the lowest completion rates of any TV series of the last decade. So the viewers didn't show up. There's no money to be made in ads.
Do you think it'll be intriguing if season 2 causes people to go back and rewatch season 1, and they might get their numbers up?
I hope so. They did. Yeah. Everyone that worked on the show deserves success because, and Ramsey deserves the awards. Everybody that, again, we reported back in January that everybody that they're trying to get nominated for an Emmy Award has already left the show.
Yeah, strange. What strange days we're living in.
So
when this happens.
Let me get your reaction to this. The chat room is saying, and this is a quote from Daisy Kim in the chat room. They just want the awards. They don't care about the fandom. Do you agree?
Oh, I don't know about that.
I disagree.
Because you gotta have some care. Otherwise, how are you going to maintain this for years and years and years? I mean, it is. I can appreciate. Hey, Daisy Kim. I can totally appreciate healthy cynicism and looking at things from a more skeptical point of view. I get it. I totally get that. But I think that even though there are some mistakes that were made with the narrative and some of the things they did had a less than home run, but sometimes they actually got to second base. Sometimes they hit the ball really well and they got to third. If you're using the baseball analogy, but it wasn't a total home run, but at least they got to second base or third with a couple of hits. And we're talking about the music, the production design, and the very interesting friendship and the dynamics between Elrond and Prince Durin in Khazad-dûm. And that's really interesting stuff. It's really the most successful part of it, I think. So I'm excited to see them improve. I really am, because there's definitely room for improvement. But what they want in terms of these prestige awards, that's what any studio wants. That's what they want. They all want the awards.
They all want awards.
They all want the awards.
Unfortunately, this year,
They all do.
House of the Dragon was a great show, but HBO is going to home run Succession. The final season of Succession is going to clean up a lot of awards from writing
in the drama category. Yep. There was huge success with Andor and The Sandman.
Andor and Sandman are competitive
absolutely.
with Rings of Power in visual effects, writing, story.
Yep.
Yeah.
Now, when are we going to see nominations? Do you know when the nominees are announced?
So here's the interesting thing: July 12th. So we're about 3 weeks away. No, 2 weeks away. We're about 2 weeks away. July 12th, we will hear who actually gets nominated. So Amazon again.
Okay.
I just showed you an entire website, multiple panels. And do you know how much Amazon paid to fly their entire cast all of those times to LA from London, to LA from London, put them up at swanky hotels to put together the events, film the events, edit the events, put those events on the internet for you to watch, and then have all those articles that we just dozens and dozens of high profile articles. Again, Amazon paid for all those promotions. They paid for everything. They paid for promoted tweets. They paid for the articles. They paid for the free popcorn when I went to go see episode 1 and 2. So Amazon is paying money to inspire nominations that will occur on July 12th. Cliff, do you expect Rings of Power to be nominated?
Yes, I expect nominations in 2 categories: music for Bear McCreary and production design / art direction. Those are the 2 categories I expect.
Does Rings of Power deserve a win in any category?
Music. Yeah, sure.
It really is the best music on TV this year.
It's fantastic. It's fantastic. And made thoughtfully.
And if it wins for music, there's potential that Howard Shore would get co-writing credit because he did the main theme, which means Howard Shore would be 3/4 of the way to an EGOT.
Ooh, boy, an Emmy, a Grammy, an Oscar, and a Tony. That means wow, imagine him getting the Emmy and the Grammy and the Oscar. Well, he did get the Grammy and the Oscar.
He did get the Grammy and an Oscar. So
he needs the Emmy. Okay.
So personally, I want this show to win for best music and Howard Shore to join Bear McCreary for that win, because I want Howard Shore to have an Emmy on the shelf for Lord of the Rings and Middle-earth.
Do you remember when Shakespeare in Love won Best Picture and everybody in town, and I mean here in Los Angeles, was complaining that Miramax had bought an Oscar because they over aggressively campaigned and they were sweet talking the voters and taking the voters out to brunch and putting out advertisements everywhere and
that's what Amazon's doing right now.
There was a moment, I remember it so clearly, when people were so damn grumpy that Shakespeare in Love was not the best picture of the year. And it was the commentary the next day in all the trade publications, in the Hollywood Reporter and Daily Variety, and in all the other magazines. People were saying, this is so lame. They actually bought their way to an Oscar through an aggressive For Your Consideration campaign. I don't know if any of you folks in the live chat remember that, but that's something that happened, actually.
So it is a thing in Hollywood. I believe someone asked the question. Ken was asking, is it easier for us to follow all this movie news because we live in Los Angeles?
Say that again?
Is it easier for us to follow all this movie news because we're in Los Angeles?
Yeah, because, well, no. I mean, it used to be that you would get your trades sent to your office. If you're a casting director or if you're a producer or someone in town or writer, you'd get Daily Variety every day delivered right to your door or right to your office. But now you can read it all online, of course. So I don't think that people outside of Los Angeles could not get direct access to the same industry notes, the same industry reporting that comes from the Hollywood Reporter and Variety. It's available to everyone, but it is a matter of, it's just a matter of how much time do you have to read all that news?
Right.
Because
I think
everyone,
the access
everyone
of being
is,
in LA is
Yeah.
they put on these events. Again, I just showed you multiple. They probably did 10 different Q&As with the cast and crew of Rings of Power, and we got access to a few of them. So, it's being here in LA allows us to go to these events.
Yes. Yeah, that's true.
Talk to people face to face. Amazon people behind the scenes, cast and crew in front of the scenes,
Yeah.
And Cliff, the thing that warms my heart most is, and I think is the most powerful thing for Rings of Power right now, is that when I've gone to some of these events and the cast walks into the room, they click me. They spot me. I'm a familiar face because we hung out at Comic-Con. I hung out with them in London. We went to the premiere in New York and London. We've hung out with the cast so much that there's a rapport here. So in a room full of journalists and Emmy voters and things like that, like industry people, the cast see my face and want to talk to me first to kind of calm their nerves and get in the groove. And that's rewarding for Torn and for the fans, because the first people that these actors want to talk to are the fans.
Yes, exactly. And we've enjoyed that rapport with all the cast members from the Hobbit trilogy and the Lord of the Rings trilogy over many, many years. They do find us, the guys and gals from the OneRing.net, and they find us and gravitate towards us at all the fan events and the conventions, because they do want to talk to the people who've been most supportive and have the most engagement with, the fact that they're doing an adaptation of J.R.R. Tolkien. We're always fascinated by that, by the very fact of it. I give anybody proper credit just for having the cojones, to try to do any adaptation of Tolkien, no matter what it is. If you've got the balls to do it, then I'll give you a gold star just for the effort, for being brave enough to do that.
Yeah, and I think overall we give it a B- for effort. But if Jeff Bezos spent $1 billion of his own money on this show, like $1 billion, and what did he get out of it? Did he get new subscribers to Amazon Prime? Not really. Did he get great reviews? Not really. Did he lighten up the fan base like Magic the Gathering is right now? Not really.
No, it didn't resonate the same way. But
the Magic is captured the imagination of the fan base that I think the show was trying to do, but they didn't accomplish it. So the only thing left for Jeff Bezos to feel success on his $1 billion is winning an award. That way the producers of the show can look at Jeff in the eye and say, "Hey, we got you your first Emmy."
Exactly.
$1 billion for an Emmy. So when you talk about, are they buying an award? Is Amazon trying to buy their way to an Emmy award? I think they have to.
Yeah, I agree with that.
For everybody's job, they have to have something of success. One piece of success, and it has to be an Emmy award.
There's something indelible, really indelible, to point at as a high watermark of artistic success. When you are given an Emmy or an Oscar, voted on by your peers, voted on by your industry folks who work with you, that means the cinematographers, the writers, the actors, all the producers, everyone in the industry is voting on you. So yes, that is more than just bragging rights. It's a justification of the entire artistic effort.
Is Bezos a Tolkien fan? Yes, he is genuinely a real life Tolkien fan. He didn't
to the degree that he would make $1 billion deal on very narrow, specific story rights.
He doesn't have merch rights. He doesn't have movie rights.
Nope.
Theme park video games. He's got nothing except making this TV show.
Making a TV show for the second age, and it's very narrow and specific. So, let us hope that they fully staff the writer's room going forward for seasons 3, 4, and 5. Let us hope that Prime Video supports thoroughly, and I mean rigorously supports, a new deal that is negotiated and agreed upon between the Writers Guild and their company. I really hope this happens.
Jeff Bezos loves Tolkien so much, he's not going to let this fail. He's going to fix what needs to be fixing. And I am thankful.
Yep,
I was thankful.
There's no backing off of this. There's no backing away.
I was thankful that it was Amazon that got the rights in the first place because of the money that he has. Ungodly sums of money. Richest man in the history of the world money.
Instead of being cynical about it and saying, oh, he's got too much money, you're actually looking at it as, wow, look at the resources that they're throwing at this production.
If this was on any other network, cable, TV, or streamer, 37% completion rate, we would already be canceled.
Yes.
This show should have been canceled by any other measure.
So should the animated. So should the animated series Velma. Velma should have been canceled. But there you go.
Instead, you win an Emmy like The Dark Crystal, and then you get canceled.
Oh, what a biting irony! That's an irony that just is like twisting the knife into your torso.
My point being, The Dark Crystal won an Emmy.
Yeah.
But the point is, you will still get canceled if viewers don't watch the show. And we have proof that viewers did not stay with Rings of Power. They gave up on the show.
Yeah.
So Netflix would have already canceled the show, with or without an Emmy. I am thankful that Amazon and Jeff Bezos loves Tolkien so much that he's willing to put whatever it costs to fix this show and do something worthy of Tolkien. Yes. I don't even care if it's a show for us, for fans, what fans want, fan service. We've just learned from The Flash that fan service is not a winning formula either. Right? Fan service is not a winning formula.
I was one of the few people who enjoyed The Flash.
I enjoyed it, but I understand what people are saying. It's all fan service. There's not an original line of dialogue by Michael Keaton in that show at all.
It was all It was all very noticeable fan service, and a lot of what you'd call color by numbers script writing. A lot of
Cliff,
color by numbers formulaic. But I enjoyed it.
If Amazon had treated Rings of Power like Paramount has treated Star Trek Prodigy.
No. Can you imagine?
What happened to Star Trek this week?
Well, Star Trek Prodigy, this really, really brilliant animated TV series that has
popular
a whole...
with fans.
Very popular, really smart, with one of our good friends, Bonnie, who has been our guest on the live show many times. And guess what? They even have second season completed, and they dumped the series. And they even have a second season... I mean, they canceled it. They canceled it. It's done. It's done.
Can I watch old episodes?
No, they pulled it off of the streaming platform. Paramount Plus doesn't even have it there. It's gone.
They pulled off the air?
From what I understand, it's no longer available.
Imagine if Amazon pulled season 1 off of Prime because it's so poorly received. Thank goodness Jeff doesn't need that much validation. Jeff is committed to Tolkien, and I truly believe that we are going to see all 5 seasons and the completion of the Rings of Power story. I truly believe that we're going to see this through to the end, and Isildur at the Cracks of Doom saying no, cut to black. So
yeah, okay. Originally, it said that they were going to remove it completely off of Paramount Plus and Showtime services before they officially combine on June 27th. So there's a merger. There's a thing where Showtime, Paramount Plus is getting combined as a thing, I guess. And they were going to remove Star Trek Prodigy from the platform before their combination day on June 27th.
There's other moves.
Cliff, there's other moves
Elena
happening.
wants to know, what do you think will happen if season 2 does not do well?
Oh, gosh. What an interesting question. You know what? That is the $30,000 question.
I can tell you right now what'll happen.
You tell me.
Showrunners get fired. They bring in a seasoned, experienced director producer. I'm talking like Steven Spielberg, Russo brothers, J. Michael Straczynski, Brian Fuller, maybe even brack the Brinks truck up to Peter Jackson and dump $1 billion onto Peter's doorstep and say, Peter, please help fix our problem. That's what I think happens if season 2 does not deliver the viewership. I'm not talking about the quality of the writing or the story or execution or anything else. If people do not show up to watch the show and complete season 2, I think there is a changing of the guard, but I think the show continues no matter what. And in fact, if that's the one thing I want, no matter how good or bad season 2 is, this show needs to continue and needs to try to keep getting better.
I agree. I agree with that. I totally agree with that. So let's see what happens next. I mean,
we'll see what happens next. So, Cliff, in one of the articles that I was just pulling up, this is the Collider interview with Ramsey Avery, production designer.
Okay.
Let's go up here.
Let's take a look.
So remember, Ramsey Avery was a replacement production designer. He came in at the last minute because the other production designer got fired right after Tom Shippey got fired or let go or departed ways, whatever you want to say. And now Ramsey Avery is no longer involved with the show or season 2. But he did this interview, and he says, quote, let me see where it was. They talk a lot about his past work. So we actually pushed an idea about taking a hiatus after we finished Block 1. And we built this 2.5-month hiatus period into our schedule.
Okay.
We ended up taking that hiatus just as COVID began.
Oh, I see.
So, Cliff, I sent you the video earlier today. We reported back in January 2020. January 2020.
Yes, we did.
Video of us reporting that the show is on hiatus. The writers' room has disbanded. There are no writers on set, and the show is on hold.
And a lot of people didn't believe us. A lot of people.
No one believed us.
What's your source? What's your source? Oh, this is fake news. Where'd you learn that? Where'd you learn that? Corroborate? Well, we can't always corroborate and reveal our sources.
We can't reveal our sources.
We cannot. But we do know things. We know
here
things.
Here it is, 3 years later, and he's confirming it's back to Young Aragorn. We reported Young Aragorn. People called us liars, and then it turns out, the Russo brothers. The Russo brothers
of all people from Marvel Studios. Yes.
Pitched Young Aragorn, and it was down to J.D. Payne and Patrick McKay doing Rings of Power in the Second Age, or the Russo brothers, fresh off the Endgame success, making the story of Young Aragorn. And those were the 2 finalists for the $1 billion Amazon show, and Amazon decided to go with J.D. Payne and Patrick McKay. People in the chat want to know, why do you think they choose the showrunners? I think because of their inexperience. People in the chat room also asked Cliff, why didn't they bring in a seasoned executive producer? I wonder why. I think they're learning.
Is it because they're more difficult to control in the sense that somebody given $1 billion project, and if they go all like auteur and they get in their minds that they start running with it, they might drive the production to, a breaking point or they might not be able to rein them in. That's the term I'm looking for. They got new guys because they're easier to rein in, if things go out of hand, right? I guess.
And again, you can read into this what you will about how much Amazon trusts the showrunners, but when the writer's strike happened, the showrunners walked off the set, and Amazon continued filming for another 2 months.
They did.
Amazon literally said, the showrunner said, hey, writer's strike, we're going on strike. And Amazon said, cool, see ya.
Yep.
Catch you on the flip. See you at the premiere.
Yep. Isn't that crazy pants? That is so crazy pants.
Amazon let them walk and continued filming for another 2 months.
Yes, they did.
They had a rap party. And with no showrunners.
That's right, with no showrunners there. My goodness gracious.
So, I do think that
It's so
season 2
strange.
will improve from season 1. We have reported in the past that writers like Jennifer Hutchinson were on set this time during production of season 2, which means that they could do fresh rewrites if things weren't going well. And so I think, but the problem is that they fired everybody that worked on season 1. They moved production from New Zealand. They got rid of all of the department heads. Ramsey's gone. The clothing designer's gone. All of the creative department heads have not moved to season 2.
They're called Amazon, they're called HOD, which means head of department. They did get rid of all their heads of department.
And they got rid of all of the crew below the line because all of them were New Zealand Kiwi natives.
That's true.
We haven't heard of anybody from season 1 that is working on season 2. It's an all new crew, all new department heads, all new creative leads.
Yes.
Will it look the same? Will it sound the same? Will the care for the prosthetics feel the same? And the lighting and everything? We don't know. They hired 2 new directors. We don't know. J.A. Bayona still hasn't come back. One of the best directors in the business who did the pilot episode of season 1.
That's right.
He has not returned. So, Amazon, I think you might have fixed the wrong problem.
So to speak. Yes.
Like, if you realize something went wrong on season 1, I can tell you that the people that you let go weren't the problem.
Right. Exactly.
So, will it get nominated for an award? We'll find out July 12th. But to be clear, again, Amazon has been talking a lot about Rings of Power. They haven't ignored the show. You may feel on Instagram, on Twitter, that Amazon has gone radio silent on Rings of Power, but I hope with this show today, we've just shown you how active Amazon is.
They're very active, but we all understand now that they've redirected their efforts in a very specific way. And that's because there's no amount of money that you know, literally, this might not be cool, and I'm not presenting it as a good idea. I'm not saying that this is cool, that Hollywood does this, but Hollywood players and the studios do this all the time. There's no amount of money you cannot spend on a for your consideration campaign. There's the sky's the limit. You know what I mean? I mean, they even managed to beat out Steven Spielberg's Saving Private Ryan, which was the best film that year, and everybody knows it. But still, you can aggressively campaign FYC for your consideration, and you can end up beating your worst competition in the Oscars. So you could probably say that the kind of money they're spending all through Los Angeles is...
There's billboards everywhere. There's
everywhere.
Advertisements for Rings of Power. Galadriel is everywhere I look in Los Angeles, Culver City, Santa Monica, Pasadena. Everywhere I look, there are billboards on billboards. Right now, today, in June 2023, it's as if living in LA and being exposed to all of these events and all of these promoted tweets in my feed, it's as if Amazon is marketing the show as strongly as it was back in September and August when the show was on the air.
Right.
I mean, it's technically still on the air because you can watch it anytime. But so Amazon is supporting the show. They haven't given up on it. They're desperate for an award. I think they'll get some nominations on July 12th. Will that change Comic-Con? If Rings of Power is nominated on July 12th, 1 week later would be Comic-Con. Is there a chance that Amazon would suddenly put the whole cast on a plane to San Diego and start the engines of getting that win?
I wonder.
Speaking
Boy, that
of
would be
Comic-Con,
weird.
Cliff, before we go,
Yeah.
extra long show today, but we talked about earlier in the show how we're excited to be working with Weta on at our Comic-Con booth, and people want to know what's going on with Comic-Con. They keep hearing all of these reports of Netflix backing out and Sony backing out and Paramount backing out. Folks, there's 2 companies that have not backed out of Comic-Con this summer. Amazon and Warner Brothers. And guess what are the 2 companies we care about?
Amazon and Warner Brothers.
Amazon,
That's right.
Warner Brothers, and now Hasbro with their Wizards of the Coast. This is a Hasbro company. So I think Lord of the Rings fans are going to eat well at Comic-Con. I think there is a 50-50 chance that we get a major announcement about the next series of films from Lord of the Rings. I don't know.
Wow.
I haven't heard much. I think we get at least a preview of War of the Rohirrim, like they showed in France a couple weeks ago. I think fans will get to see footage of War of the Rohirrim, but I do think because there's nothing else going, a lot of the other studios backed out, Marvel backed out of their Hall H. I think Warner Brothers will step up and deliver the news to fans of what we all want to hear about the future of Middle-earth movies. That's my prediction for Comic-Con.
I would say that's a safe prediction. And with those kinds of safe bets, I think we should plan a trip to Vegas. You and me should plan a trip to Vegas because you're making some safe bets. Really safe bets.
This is an unsafe bet.
That is a very unsafe bet.
This is an unsafe bet.
Wait, if you and Matt are splitting it and you guys open up an $11,000 Sol Ring card, are you guys going to split it?
No, the chat room donated $800, so Matt got a box and I got a box.
Oh, wow. Oh, so they're completely separate boxes. You're not splitting that between the 2 of you now.
We split the first one.
You did split the first one. I thought.
On this one, we the chat room donated $800 so we both could buy a full box. So it's going to be an extra long stream on Sunday opening this. Cliff,
very nice.
Give me some good juju. Send your magic through the air. Is there a ring in this box?
There's a ring in this box.
There's a ring in this box. You heard it.
There's some kind of ring.
You're gonna find out on Sunday, and I'm so excited to open it live with everybody.
You're so funny. You know,
Ken wants to know what is War of the Rohirrim. Cliff, what is it?
Wow. Well, because Warner Brothers Discovery has feature film rights, it's just not a television show. Let's just make that very clear. War of the Rohirrim is a movie that is going to be made as a feature-length movie, and it will be released in theaters, not on television, not on streaming. You'll have to go to the movie house and sit in the theater, buy a ticket, and actually be part of the movie-going experience. And it is an animated film called The War of the Rohirrim, being done with remarkable, talented people in Japan who make anime, like the kinds of anime you enjoy, like Ghost in the Shell, Standalone Complex. Yeah, really hardcore.
The anime.
So, yeah, Blade Runner, the anime. So we're going to have a Japanese anime feature-length film called War of the Rohirrim. And get your popcorn and your Junior Mints and your soda, and let's go to the movies.
Designs by John Howe and Alan Lee.
Yeah, it's going to be so great.
Watercolor backgrounds of Middle Earth by Alan Lee as the background for the animation.
Hand-drawn 2D animation. Not CGI like Pixar, but hand-drawn anime.
And motion capture test footage for horses and warriors on the Avatar stages with Weta Digital. So they're using the Avatar technology to film epic battle scenes, and then they're drawing animation from that.
I'm excited. I'm very excited about this film, and it's going to be good stuff. Imagine what they're going to do at Comic-Con to present not only that, but maybe more announcements of other plans they have. Maybe it's too premature. You know, maybe the ink is still drying on the paperwork that they just signed with the Embracer Group. but I am looking forward to Comic-Con, that's for sure.
I don't think there will be any Rings of Power news or announcements or
None.
off-sites
None.
at
There won't be
Comic-Con.
anything. Nope. That was last year.
And we had a great time, and we want to thank Amazon for partnering with us and putting together one of the most fun parties we've ever had.
I'll say.
At Comic-Con.
Wow.
And
Magnificent
Cliff, that was
party.
the first time you met J.D. Payne and Patrick McKay, and there you are having a glass of champagne with the showrunners of this billion-dollar show.
I met one of them on the train. I met one of them on the train. I was going down to San Diego on the Amtrak, and he pulls me aside and says, "Aren't you Quickbeam? Aren't you Quickbeam from the One Ring?" And I'm like, "You found me."
Well, anyway, guys, go to consideramazon.com. It's that easy. Consideramazon.com. And you can watch any one of these panel discussions. Some of them are 30 minutes, some of them are an hour and a half.
Good evening, everyone. Hello, my name is Jacqueline Coley. I'm the awards editor at Rotten Tomatoes, and it's my honor
that knows this incredibly well, or the person who is
there's
just
Maxim
approaching
Baldry, Ramsey Avery,
I don't know, every aspect of what's
Ismael
around them,
Cruz.
whether they're talking.
So there's a lot. They have all their shows up. Cliff, besides Rings of Power, do you think Amazon Prime will get nominated for any other shows this season?
I don't know, really. Honestly, it might be very likely that the Marvelous Mrs. Maisel will get a good send-off because it's their final season.
Do you think The Boys deserve an award for the extremely distasteful
No.
joke effects?
Nope.
That
Nope. I mean, that's like trying to give Peter Jackson the Oscar for Meet the Feebles. It
was funny when I watched it.
That's funny.
So,
it's kind of gross out. It's all if you guys are just going for the gross out, that's fine. That's totally fine. It's nice to see Carl Urban doing so well. Everybody loves Carl Urban. I love watching him. He's great.
Yeah.
He's great. I love watching him.
All right, consideramazon.com. Thank you for staying with us for an extra large show. It's great after several years to be validated on our rumors and gossip. So if you want to know
the
Green Dragon gossip that may not pay off for another 3 to 5 years, you want to stick with the OneRing.net because we've got the goods. We've got the gossip.
Yeah, we do.
Wait, do I have any Green Dragon gossip this week? Let me look at my notes.
I do. I have Green Dragon gossip, but it's not related to Rings of Power.
Okay.
Guess what? Do you know how weird it seemed that the writer strike happened, but Rings of Power continued finishing the last 3 weeks of their principal photography because they said the writing was done? Well, guess who else is doing that? Neil Gaiman just said to everybody on Twitter a few days ago that the exact same process is happening on The Sandman Season 2 because he said, quote, the scripts were finalized and frozen. He used the word frozen. The scripts were frozen back in May. That's 2 months ago in May, because we're already at the beginning of July now. So that's intriguing that they're going in and doing what the Rings of Power did. They have no writers doing anything to rewrite anything. It's super dangerous and weird, and it's not the usual way that things are usually done on a big expensive show. But there you have it. That's what's happening.
All right, the Green Dragon gossip. We've reported again. This could be just rumors. It's just gossip. We don't know if it's true or not. We do know that there are 3 Saurons in season 2.
Yeah, somebody in the chat was asking about that earlier in the show, and we were really busy talking about cards.
3
Three Saurons
in season 2.
Yeah.
Halbrand is one of those Saurons, and he stays in Mordor for most of the show, as we understand it.
Okay.
So Halbrand is kind of off the table. So there are 2 more Saurons. We can confirm Anatar is one of those Saurons, and he will be revealed. You will finally get your Anatar, Cliff.
Finally. Like, he should have been there.
Unfortunately,
He should have been there the whole time.
Anatar is going to. The gossip is Anatar will be revealed in a way that is very similar to how Sauron was revealed in season 1.
Oh dear, come on! You can't do that to me. Don't do that to me.
Remember, folks, they wrote season 2 scripts.
You mean mystery boxing?
At the same time as season 1. So they did not write season 2 scripts after season 1 was released. They wrote season 1 and season 2 at the same time. So it's the same quality writing that you're used to is going to be season 2. And Cliff, as I understand it, the gossip is Anatar will be revealed in a mystery box way similar to how Sauron revealed himself in season 1.
Do you know what? I enjoyed the ride with Rings of Power. I enjoyed the ride, but the part that I never enjoyed was the relentless mystery boxing with the audience getting hit over the head all the time with the Where's Waldo mystery of it. Ugh.
And
okay,
and we were and I've been told, again, Green Dragon gossip, I've been told that the hint that the showrunners gave us was in an interview back in November, where in I believe it was Variety or Vanity Fair, where the showrunners said season 2 Sauron is kind of like the guy from Breaking Bad.
Really? Which guy from Breaking Bad do you mean?
The main guy.
Oh, okay. All right. Really? Okay. What an interesting analogy.
So, Anatar, we've been told that to start connecting the dots between Anatar revealing himself in such a way that is similar to how Sauron revealed himself, and then connect that to Walter White and how Walter White is portrayed in Breaking Bad.
Okay.
Anatar is the Walter White of Middle Earth. That's the gossip. If we get more information, we will give you a more definite we will elevate from Green Dragon gossip up to an official scoop. But right now, that's the gossip.
That's the gossip. Okay.
Think of Anatar as Walter White. Family man.
Intriguing. Guess what? Maybe there's going to be a spin-off show for the Rings of Power, and instead of being titled Better Call Saul, it will be Better Call Anatar.
Better Call Adar.
Adar. That's what I was. Yeah, that's actually my first idea was Better Call Adar.
We gave a spin-off to the lawyer.
Give the spin-off to Adar. Yeah. Better Call Adar.
Any gossip on what actor? Yes, the other gossip is, and I think Fellowship of Fans might have reported this before me. I don't know. But it is the current expectation that either the third form of Sauron or the Anatar form of Sauron will be an actor of color.
Okay.
That's all I got for now. I don't have anything more as far as who that actor is, but that's the gossip.
All right. That is the gossip, and that's worth some gossip.
All right.
I guess.
So I will see you guys on Sunday for at Nerd of the Rings. Make sure you subscribe and turn on notifications so when we go live, your phone just beeps at you like, hey, we're live. We're going to open and we're going to try to get $10,000 because look, if I get a $10,000 card in this box, I'm going to throw the coolest Comic-Con party with
oh my goodness. Yes, I agree. It's going to be fantastic.
So, and then Cliff, they're going to see you and me next Tuesday, right?
Yeah, we're going to be here next Tuesday. You know what? I'm kind of excited about the possibility of me getting one of those boxes, but I'm going to spread the love around and spread the expense.
Try to find one. The trick is trying to find one first.
I just want to find, somebody who wants to split a box with me.
Josh,
that shouldn't be too hard.
Josh is in the chat room. He was just on the show. He said he found a place in Kansas City that has one for $4.19. Cliff, right here on the air, will you go halves with Josh on that box?
With Josh? Yeah. Sure. Yeah, I'll go halves with Josh. Yeah, absolutely.
I'd love to watch that.
That's
if you
great.
Guys split the box.
That's wonderful. If he's got one, and then I'll split it with him. That sounds fabulous to me. That's great. What a great idea.
There you go.
But I don't want anyone to get upset if I get that $11,000 dwarven ring. This has been a really exciting show, and I want to say thank you to all the lovely, lovely people who stayed with us tonight for this long form 2 hours and 20 minutes program. What a night.
What
Good
will
stuff.
the main conversation be? Well, if we get extra, I'm expecting some Comic-Con announcements in the next week.
Yes.
And Cliff, as of today, this is day 61 of the writer's strike, which means we are now in month 3. And I think next week we'll revisit why the writers are striking. And next week will be, as of July 1st, the Screen Actors Guild may be on strike as of July 1st. Their contract is up in 3 days on June 30th. So when we talk next week on July 4th, we will be wearing our American Pride colors because right now it's Gay Pride. So happy Gay Pride, Cliff. Next week we'll do American Pride because it's July 4th. And we'll talk about why it is most American of things to strike against the big evil corporations of the world. And so we'll talk about why the writers are striking, why the actors are striking. We'll look at some deep fakes that have been going on and what we can expect if there's a writer, if the actors start striking, Comic-Con changes in a big way.
Significantly.
And we'll talk about that next week.
Yes, we'll talk about a lot of that. And I'm excited to get more specific details as we get closer to Comic-Con. All right. So congratulations to you, the audience. Big time. Congratulations to you guys. You made it through another show. Hello. Give yourselves a big round of applause. You made it through another Torn Tuesday. And I am so excited to be here every week with you, Justin. Really great to be here with my producer and friend and co-host and my friend and my confidant, man about town, Justin Sewell. If you guys want to follow us on Instagram, Twitter, Twitch, and Facebook, it's theonering.net, but take out the dot. Just find us as The One Ring Net. Myself, Clifford Broadway. I'm at QuickBeam2000 on Instagram and Twitter. Justin, are we ready to sign off? I think so. Everybody, please do yourselves the kindness of being really gentle with one another. Be gentle with yourselves and have a wonderful, wonderful week of adventure. We're going to bring some more mischief and news and gossip next week to Torn Tuesday right here at 5 p.m. Pacific time. Until then, take care of yourselves and good night and good luck. Or better yet, buenos noches y buena suerte. Bye, everybody.